Hi everyone, it's Kim. My website's kimtoki.com. I offer various services including Yuzui and Tibetan Reiki, which I am a master practitioner of, and also Angelic Reiki, which I am a practitioner of, which is a beautiful modality, and if it's ever interested you, I thoroughly recommend that you try it. I also do psychic and tarot / angelic card readings for people, and one thing I do that I haven't heard of many other people doing is I am a colour therapist. So colour therapy, I've actually shared a podcast clip on my channel that describes it in more detail, but essentially when you look at the physics of colour, they all operate on different wavelengths, and those wavelengths are harmonious for some of our emotions and some of our body systems, and others are not. So what you might find is if you tend to wear or eat a lot of the same colours, if your home is predominantly one colour, that kind of thing, you might find that your system's going out of whack, and it might not be anything that the doctors can do anything for, but you know, if you're suffering with certain symptoms that perhaps the doctors can't really prescribe anything for or treat perhaps, but you're feeling off centre, you might want to look at what colours you've got in your home. Too much white in your clothes or home decor can leave your system feeling on high alert, because bright white particularly it's very strong, and it's actually all the colours together in one. And that can kind of send your system into a little bit of overload, which obviously isn't ideal. People often get warned against eating too much red meat, too much salt, which again is on the red wavelength of the spectrum, and too much red, you know, high blood pressure, potential aggression issues, problems with sleep, that kind of thing. And then you often get told to eat your greens and that kind of thing. Green is a very healing colour, a very balancing colour for the mind, emotions, body. So yeah, every colour plays its part. Plus colour, the relationship we have with colour is incredibly personal. So everyone will have their favourite colours, and these do tend to change as people get older. But also you will have colours that you just truly dislike, and you won't always know why. Colour and smell are feelings towards them, and the responses that they trigger are stored in the reptilian part of the brain. It's the prehistoric part of the brain, and often, you know, like say you might smell a smell from childhood and it just triggers a memory. You don't even have to think about it, because those senses go straight to the reptilian part of the brain. And it's the same with colour. It's sort of, for me, I was a 70s child, and for a long time I absolutely despised to be fair, it was a particular shade of orange, but I hated orange for a long time, and now I absolutely love it. Brown as well. You know, I quite like beige. Certain shades of brown are great in certain situations, but for a long time it was just a colour I absolutely hated. So, you know, everyone has that personal relationship, but equally you cannot get away from the fact that certain body systems will react favourably to certain colours. So for example, while they're not my favourite colours, yellow and orange, bright healthy yellow and orange, I really do like very much at the moment, and it's because I have ongoing digestive system problems. So yellow is very good for the stomach, and orange is very good for the intestines. So you might find yourself liking colours you didn't used to, particularly when your body starts to need them to help heal specific systems. So what I was thinking we would do today is I wanted to try and get you, we can't do all the colours because this is a collective reading. So what we're going to try and do is look at, we're going to choose 4 colours, or I'm going to choose 4 colours, because look, I've got all these colour cards and there's no way I could possibly do in one video giving you all of these options. It would just take too long. So what I'll do is I will choose 4 of these colours for a pick a pile. Now your favourite colour might not be in there, that's fine. I just want you to choose whichever colour of the 4 that I choose that you feel the most drawn to. And what we'll do is we will say what the characteristics associated with those colours or that colour is. Because obviously if you're drawn to more than one pile, that's fine. You listen to whichever colours, the readings for whichever colours you're interested in, obviously. So we'll talk about the characteristics that those colours represent. And during the course of the reading, it should either tell us whether you already have those qualities or if they are qualities that you need to develop more over the next few weeks. So we'll do that, and also as part of that, we're going to pick an archetype card for each of you. And again, during the course of the reading, we'll find out whether this is a characteristic, if this is a personality type that you currently have, or again, if it's something you perhaps need to develop more over the coming weeks. Okay, so hopefully that sounds good for you. I will go ahead and put the piles out for you to choose from. I will also put crystals with them because I know some people tend to prefer pulling for the crystals. But what I would say is, for this particular reading, I want you to concentrate more on the colour cards if possible. And just hopefully you'll find that it really does resonate for you at the moment. Right, 1 second. Okay, so here are the colours I've chosen, because hopefully that will give us quite a nice spread. So obviously we've got the yellow with some citrine. Now this isn't showing up quite the right colour on my camera, unfortunately. This is actually kind of a beautiful royal but not indigo blue. However, I think on my camera it's showing up more of an indigo, and then it doesn't help that the light's just reflecting off it, which is very frustrating. So we'll have to take it that it's a similar colour to this lapis lazuli, so we'll have to take it as more of an indigo. So I will adjust my reading accordingly from that. Obviously this is a very bright pink, but we've got the rose quartz with that. And then we've got a beautiful apple green. Again, I'm not sure that's showing up quite, it looks a bit dark on the camera, but it's actually quite a gorgeous bright green. And we've got that with the hematite. So the yellow is pile 1, the blue is pile 2, pink is pile 3, green is pile 4. So I just want you to look at these colours. Don't worry about what your favourite colour is in life in general. I'm wanting you to choose the pile or piles that you are most drawn to in this moment, and then that should take you to the reading or readings that are most appropriate for you. Okay, we'll just give you a bit of time to think and then we'll move on to the reading. Right, hello pile 1. You chose yellow and you've got the citrine. One thing I have just got to say, this was absolutely brilliant because obviously I shuffled these cards for you, and I kid you not, for the chakra energy card, solar plexus came out, and obviously yellow is the colour of the solar plexus, so that was perfect. I haven't looked at your tarot, but for your Angels of Atlantis card, you also got Jophael on the yellow ray, which was just perfect again. So absolutely brilliant, very synchronistic. So let's just turn over your other cards. So you've got You Are Gifted from the Magical Unicorns Oracle cards. Let me just move these out of the way and then I can put these further up. Okay, so you've got Joe Phil as your Angels of Atlantis card, meditation. Solar plexus chakra, which is no surprise when you know your colours and your chakras and that kind of thing. So let me just make sure you can see these. So your tarot cards are the World, Three of Air, the Wheel, and the Five of Earth. So let's just have a look at your tarot cards for a second. So you've got a job well done, joy, contentment and gratitude, the path towards enlightenment. Three of Air, great sadness, take time to heal, the need to forgive yourself or others. The Wheel, a time of positive change, a situation suddenly moves forward and fortune is on your side. Five of Earth, fears surrounding money, the wisdom to accept help from others, uncertain self-employment. So obviously you've got great sadness here, but I feel like this is all moving in your favour. The Wheel, which would be the Wheel of Fortune in standard tarot, is you've got that completion now. The sadness is in the past and everything else is moving forward. And one thing here is about the path towards enlightenment, and it says you're very intelligent and talented. I'm just trying to feel into whether this is spiritual or career or both, you know, the two could tie in together. Hopefully it'll come out a bit more in the reading. So anyway, you chose yellow, or you were drawn to yellow. And some of the things about the colour yellow is, where are we? Your personality. Quick, alert mind, sunny, full of ideas. Positive quality is bright, happy and communicative. Negative quality can be egocentric or fearful. You know that whole thing about being yellow-bellied. So areas of the body that yellow can tie in with, I mean there's a huge great list, so I won't go through all of it, but it's very good for being, yellow is very good to be uplifting. It's good for concentration and mental clarity, stimulating the mind. It's also good for helping with liver, gallbladder, stomach, nervous system and brain. I mean, you look at it and it says sunshine, doesn't it? I mean, it's to me, it's a beautiful colour. I can appreciate there are people who don't like yellow, but it has very positive benefits. And then your chakra card has a affirmation on it for you. My professional path develops in keeping with my life plan. So which again, it ties in, you know, where was it? The situation suddenly moves forward, fortune is on your side. Uncertain about self-employment, but it says, you know, my professional path develops in keeping with my life plan. So I feel like you do need that affirmation for the next few weeks. If you're needing mental stimulation, yellow is definitely the card for it. You've clearly got the talents there for whatever it is you're looking to achieve. Let's just have a look at your archetype card. So you got the Seeker. So positive attributes are a thirst for wisdom and truth wherever you are. Shadow attribute, inability to commit to a path once found. So you're finding it a bit difficult to decide at the moment, are you? Let me just have a quick look if there's any more in the book about it. Right, so maybe their search with earthly curiosity, but has at its core the pursuit of wisdom and truth wherever they're to be found. The shadow side of the seeker is the lost soul on an aimless journey without direction, disconnected from goals. This emerges when the seeker becomes infatuated with the trappings of a practice or guru, but never actually changes underlying egocentricity. Look for a lifetime pattern of constantly moving from one potential source of wisdom or truth to another. Okay, so do you identify with either of these? So do you find it difficult to stick to a path and commit to it fully? Or do you stay on the same learning path, the same spiritual path, whatever it may be, career path, but you're still looking for knowledge within that particular path? If you find yourself struggling with indecision and, you know, changing from maybe one belief system to another, changing from one career to another, and we're talking regularly, you know, everyone sort of changes every so often, or no, what am I trying to say? You know, sometimes people will think, actually, no, do you know what? Buddhism's more for me, or actually, I don't want to be a chartered surveyor anymore. I really want to be a hairdresser. Do you know what I mean? Everyone gets those kinds of urges, but are you constantly doing it? Are you constantly moving from belief or career or life path to another one? In which case you do need to look at balancing your heart and mind, which yellow is very much the colour for. So if we just have a look at the message from Joe Fail about meditation, who hopefully can help you a bit more. Finding stillness in detachment helps us towards the angelic freedom evoked by meditation. Joe Fail provides us with his yellow ray to soar with. I mean, again, that just came out by itself. I did not choose that. So he's come out on his yellow ray for the yellow reading. I'm impressed with that, even if you're not. All we need to do is quieten our mind. Then we may hear the angels sing. So, at dawn and at sunset, practice meditation. Breathe deeply, listen intently through a relaxed state to the divine Om, and then be still to hear the music of the angelic kingdoms. This will bring your own auricular messages. Please be aware of your solitude, stillness and silence. Okay, so I know it says about doing it at sunrise and sunset, but life is extremely busy. People, if they get a chance to meditate, have to do it when they get a chance, basically. I think ultimately, if you can find some time to set aside, and it doesn't particularly have to be a meditation, it could just be some sort of mindfulness. You might have an app or people that you like to listen to on social media or on YouTube or whatever. But if you can, take that time out to sit, and it doesn't, you know, I know they said sit in silence. I find that incredibly difficult personally. If you can sit and listen to like a guided meditation or that kind of thing, particularly if it's on the solar plexus or the yellow ray, and see what comes to you while you follow it through. See what ideas you get, see what conversations play in your head. I just feel like you've got such boundless ability and energy, that mental energy, if not physical energy, but the possibilities for someone like you are endless, and I guess that's why you might be struggling to choose that particular direction. And it's not so bad if you're, say, if you're studying at college or university, you get that ability to mix and match subjects, add extra things to your timetable and that sort of thing. As you get older, particularly if you've got children and a full-time job, it's harder to mix those extra things, but you hopefully might have chance if there are other paths, rather than moving your your life or your entire focus wholesale. Maybe you could just go off and do little mini courses to give you that information, to give you that insight and help you make better informed choices. You know, classes somewhere on different religions, different careers, that kind of thing. You know, it's saying here on the Five of Earth, the wisdom to accept help from others, and that would be a great way to satisfy your lust for knowledge whilst also developing a bit more balance and consistency in your life. Right, well, I hope this has helped, and let me know in the comments if this resonates with you. Thank you very much. Right, hello pile 2. You chose the blue, although it looks slightly more indigo in this light. Yeah, and then I get the reflection, so it's a bit tricky, but there's the lapis lazuli as well. Okay, so let me make sure that's just in shot. Yeah, there we go. Right, okay, so the qualities of blue generally tends to reflect people who are slightly more intellectual and introverted. It's a very cool, soothing colour. It's great for reducing inflammation, high blood pressure, that kind of thing. So other qualities are calm, quiet, thoughtful, intuitive, withdrawn, loyal, trusting. Too much blue, an overload of blue in the system can lead people to be depressed and withdrawn. So, you know, obviously balance is needed there. Other sort of more physical things that blue can be used for, apart from healing and calming, is creative expression, confidence, pain relief. It relates to the respiratory system, and ties in if you're trying to heal conditions to do with throat, mouth, upper lungs, upper arms, ears and mind. Okay. Those are the kinds of colours. I do use colour a lot when I do Reiki, and I use blue an awful lot if people have like a mild temperature, if they've got inflammation. It's very good for helping healing burns and that kind of thing as well, sunstroke. Right, okay, so the chakra energy card that you got actually came up as the 4th chakra, which is the heart chakra. And it says, all of the hatred within me will be healed by the love of the creative force. So, I mean, that can be God, it can be your ancestors, your spirit guides, the angels, the galactics, whatever you believe in, whatever whatever power you pray to or connect with. That mantra of, you know, all of the hatred within me will be healed by the love of the, and, you know, insert the power to which you converse and defer your life decisions to. Okay, so some heart healing to go on there for you. Right, let's have a look at your archetype card. So you have got the artist, again ties in very, you know, very well with the blue and the creativity. So the light attributes, I'll just move it a bit closer to the camera for you. Can you see that? Yeah. So light attributes, expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the 5 senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. Shadow attributes, using talent as an excuse to mistreat others, posing as the starving artist to elicit pity. So, you know, there's plenty of people in the world who get famous and are horrible to the public and to their staff or whoever. Obviously the flip side of that, as they say, is posing as the starving artist to elicit pity. But equally here it sounds like, you know, you've got this gift, expressing a dimension of life beyond the five senses, inspiring others. It's a very uplifting quality to have. Perhaps if you are struggling with your heart chakra, maybe some of these shadow attributes are coming through. Perhaps that's something to be healed, but hopefully that will come out in the rest of this reading. So your tarot cards are the Moon, important psychic insights, events behind the scenes, release fears that hold you back. Queen of Fire, that's somebody who is confident, warm, intelligent, graceful. Stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity. The Lovers, intimate relationships. Carefully weigh your decisions. Good health. Two of Water, a relationship that continues to grow closer. Forgiveness. Ooh, that ties in, doesn't it? The positive resolution of a conflict. And do we have room for that card? Let me just try and move that in there. How's that? Okay. Five of Fire, competing goals, bothersome details, conflict with others. So, you know, it's coming out that you have got, well, it sounds like you've got a great romantic relationship or the start of one coming in. The positive resolution of a conflict. Let me just, I'm trying to just tune into the feeling behind this. Important psychic insights, events behind the scenes, competing goals. So is it your partner that you've got competing goals with, or is this somebody else? Because it's saying the positive resolution of a conflict, forgiveness. You've obviously got some heart blockages here. But competing goals, conflict with others. So I feel like you're this Queen of Fire energy, regardless of whether you're male and female. It's about the energy of this person. They're confident, they're warm, intelligent, graceful. But somebody's really causing you some problems, and that's caused this heart chakra problem that you've got. Let me just see what your unicorn card is. Right, so wish upon a star, make a wish and expect the very best. So that's lovely. We'll just put that there. That's good. Okay, let me get some Hidden Truth Oracle. I just want to try and see if I can see a bit more about who it is you're having problems with. Let me just see if this comes out as a problem with your romantic partner. I mean, actually, to be fair, it says a relationship, and while the Cups is generally, you know, you would think of the Two of Water as romantic relationship, it could be a work relationship. Oh, we both know I'm not the one for you. I feel you, even though we are apart. I hope you can forgive me one day. Right, well, that just keeps coming back, doesn't it? Forgiveness. Sometimes I lay awake thinking about you. So, it feels like, and please tell me if I'm right or wrong in the comments, it feels like you are a rising star. You are an artist of some description, whether it's art in the conventional sense of someone who creates paintings or sculptures. You could be a musician. You could be someone who creates anything in any way can be considered an artist to a degree. People who bake, people who make websites, anything, anything like that. People who are very good at what they do can be considered artists, regardless of what they actually do. So you are on your way up. You need to ensure you treat people well. Success is not an excuse to treat other people badly, whether it's a waiter in a restaurant, your tour manager, your gallery patron, whoever it is. Because they are not the person who hurt you. Somebody hurt you. It's caused heart chakra problems. So you're struggling to love people effectively. You might even be struggling to love yourself effectively. And it's caused a block that is obviously having a knock-on effect in the rest of your life. You're obviously intuitive and you are getting insights into how your life is going, how other people feel about you, how you should be behaving, and perhaps you're not necessarily listening to that. I feel like the fears tie in with the heart chakra block and, again, these people who've treated you badly. This person... Can you still see that? Have I just moved them out? No, that's good. Right. This person feels like they're not good enough for you. I mean, I don't know what they've done that would require forgiveness, but they don't feel they're good enough for you. They love you. They want to be with you, but they feel like they are not the person for you. Oh, that dog. Yeah, make a wish, expect the very best. Decide what you want from this relationship, because I feel like you genuinely love this person, and I think they need to know that regardless of how they might feel about themselves, that doesn't impact on how you see them. Let's just get a few more tarot cards, see if I can get a little bit more information for you. Right. Balance. The need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise. Wait for perfect timing. Oh. The Emperor. Organisation and logic, structure and discipline, leadership. This can also be, the Emperor is, you know, obviously a very strong, wise man, logical, doesn't tend to be emotional or intuitive as much. Four of Earth, being too frivolous or too cautious with money. Sorry about that. Or too cautious with money, good business decisions, giving to those less fortunate. Yeah, I just feel like if you know what you want, you need to... Sorry about that. Right. So, yeah, you need to think about this person. I feel like you do want them in your life. They're insecure. They might be misreading some of your behaviour from your emotional fears and heart block. You need to talk to them and explain that it's not their fault, that you do love them, you do want to be with them, if that is the case, of course, obviously not, if not the case. But it's saying wish upon a star, make a wish and expect the very best. So there is positivity there, there is hope there. I think sometimes it's very easy for people, in an effort to protect themselves, they push people away without necessarily meaning to, and they don't always realise that they're doing it. It's very easily done. So we're just going to get you an Angels of Atlantis Oracle card. Can we have an Angels of Atlantis Oracle card for pile 2? Oh, okay. Oh, gosh. Okay, look at all that. You've got red, orange and yellow. Yellow, pink. Sorry, I was just going to say the yellow pile, everything tied into yellow. But for you, it's much more of a holistic approach that you seem to be getting. Right, okay, so Hanael, integrity. Let me just find it in the book. Won't be a second. Some of these cards just... Where are we? Right, integrity. So there is a need for you to take a look at the essential parts of your life and the notion of integration. The force of integrity within Hanael turns untruthful challenges into opportunities for truthful acceleration. Just as the eternal compasses of life teach that truth brings us to integration and centeredness in life, the ancient scales will always weigh your heart for truth. Please say a prayer to Hanael, who will help you to clarify any illusion and move you to say what is absolutely pure within your soul. Okay, so Sandalphon and evolution. Sandalphon wants you to know that this is a light-filled time in your life. You are evolving by leaps and bounds, so this is a time to fill your heart with gratitude. Also remember that if manifestation is not fully apparent just yet, destiny will soon be knocking at your door, summoning you to reach new heights and new visions. Prepare by relinquishing anything of the past that stops you from emerging as the creative genius that you truly are. You will see 12 orbs emerging through the oracle, representing the universal resonance frequency. So there's the orbs there. Therefore, see how 12 aspects of your own evolving nature are present at this time. And then Uriel for trust, which I feel you might be struggling with looking at some of your other cards. Disappointment often takes us to a state in life where the erosion of our faith in self, others or the source occurs. Uriel is gently reminding you to practice belief, faith and trust, for they are the three comicants of love. Simply say a gentle prayer to Uriel, to the source, asking to develop the muscle of trust and to take away the fever of untrust. Just like the soaring summits of wonderful trusting Everest, you will once more spring forward with joy in your step. I mean, yeah, it's all very much clearing that past hurt, learning to trust people again. Your life in general just seems absolutely fabulous. I think you are, like I said before, I think you're definitely on an upward trajectory. But to help take you to that next level, you know, try and call on these angels, Hanael, Sandalphon and Uriel, to help you clear the blockages in your heart chakra and you know, make this wish. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else. No, I think that covers it. I just, I don't know, I feel like I want to give you a hug. I think you've had a hell of a lot to deal with, and understandably you're now sort of trying to heal from how people have been with you in the past, which I can fully sympathise with. So I wish you the best of luck, and at the risk of sounding squishy, remember you're not alone. There are people there who want to help you, and people that you can turn to. Right, thank you very much. Right, hello pile 3. You chose, I mean it's very bright pink, but you chose pink, and this is the rose quartz obviously. So your archetype card is Mother, and the light attributes are nurturing, patient, unconditional love, joy in giving birth to life. Shadow attributes are smothering or abandoning children, instilling guilt in children for becoming independent. Let me just have a look if there's any more on that in the book. So, yeah, regardless of your gender, men, women, LGBTQ+ can have these traits regardless. So, life giver, source of nurture and nourishment, shows patience, devotion, caring and unconditional love. Mother Nature, also known as Gaia, is the caretaker of the planet. Capacity to forgive her children and put them before herself is essential to the good mother. Shadow Mother may manifest as devouring, abusive, abandoning or working mother, which different aspects of this primal archetype. You don't need to be a biological mother, but you must have a lifelong devotion to nurturing and protecting the environment or supporting any life form, including giving birth to books or ideas. Some men relate to being Mr. Mom, another variation of the mother archetype. Okay, so that would tie in with the colour pink. Again, I just shuffled it. I didn't choose it specifically. It just came out. So, aspects of the colour pink are loving, nurturing, emotional, understanding, sympathetic. The negative qualities that can come out of having too much pink: immature, needy, emotionally unstable. A little bit harsh, but so the chakra cards that came out for you. First chakra, that's your base chakra. So if you imagine a line that runs between your hips, dead centre in the middle of that line, that's where your base chakra is. The colour for that is red. It has to be a nice, bright, healthy red for it to be healthy. I lovingly fight for my right to live. And then you also got the 7th chakra, which is the crown chakra on the top of your head. My thoughts, feelings and actions are increasingly orientated upon the unifying force of the Creator. Now that can be God, Jesus, whichever religion, you know, Allah, Buddha, whoever you defer to. It can also be Source, the environment, nature, your ancestors, your spirit guides, and you know, galactics if you work with galactics like I do. So I'm just trying to tune in to the energy here. So we've got someone, regardless of gender or how they identify, someone who comes across as feminine, compassionate, loving, dependent, understanding and sympathetic, possibly a little bit needy. Okay, let's have a look at your tarot, see what that shows. So we've got Queen of Water, tender-hearted, empathetic, patient, loving. Again, you know, feminine energy, emotional energy, you know, water is of the emotions. Relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition. Care for yourself and others. Yeah, I think this ties into you feeling worthy. Oh, we've got a divine couple here. King of Water. So the masculine counterpart, divine pairing. Trustworthy, compassionate, respected, cultured. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy, heartfelt advice, charity work. Two of Earth, too much going on at once. The need to make a decision, consider a more playful approach. And then we've got another king there, the King of Air. Brilliant, impartial, professional, diplomatic. Speak your mind with confidence. Seek out professional advice. Balance mental and emotional considerations. Ten of Fire. Again, too much work. Accept help from others. Life is out of balance. Stress-related health conditions. So this is just really taking me straight to, again, regardless of your gender or how you identify, there's a very standard, if you like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a pattern that you know, masculine and feminine energies often fall into, and the feminine energies, the givers, the carers, often find themselves putting everyone else first, not getting enough help for the amount that they do, and burning themselves out. And this is what this is saying to me. I mean, I'm just trying to see who these two kings are. I feel like you are in a committed relationship with your masculine energy. You've got you know, you've got this divine pairing here. I feel like this King of Air, speak your mind with confidence, seek out professional advice, balance mental and emotional considerations. It's telling you to care for yourself as much as you care for other people. And then you've got these two cards here telling you you've got too much going on at once. You've got too much work. You need help from other people. Your life is out of balance. You're getting stress-related health conditions. You need to make a decision. So you've either taken on too much, or you have allowed other people to expect too much of you. And again, it's very easily done. Whether you are a mother or whether you are in a mothering role, again, as I say, regardless of gender or how you identify, if you are in that role of being the caregiver, of being the organizer, of being the one who, you know, if you do have children, you're the one who makes sure the kids get bathed, fed, they get the homework done, their uniforms are washed, you get them to and from sports practice or whatever hobbies they have. You'll be the one taking them to parties, most likely. You're trying to remember what events are coming up. Have people got the right outfits to wear for certain events? What are we making for dinner tonight? Do we have everything we need in the fridge? And it's endless. And then you've got the housework on top of that, and you've got people who will expect other things from you. Your partner will expect you to be, you know, their romantic consort, and your friends, you know, you'll want to keep up with your friends if you can. You might want to help your friends if they need help with things. You'll have other relations that might need help. It's endless. It's absolutely endless. And you know, I feel like, I could be wrong, societal change takes forever, but I feel like society is recognising that imbalance a lot more. I think the masculine energies in relationships are starting to step up more, but I do also appreciate there are plenty of people who can make it much harder work than it already was. You know, by the time you've explained to them where the washing powder is and how to work the washing machine, you actually think, you know, I should have just done this myself. And it's horrible, but eventually there comes a point where you have to make a decision. Are you going to actually work yourself quite literally into a grave? Or are you going to take a step back and make people help you more so that you can be around for longer to give that mothering energy? It's like leaving a child alone with chocolate. they're not going to stop unless you tell them to stop eating it. And it's this, from what I have observed, it's very much the same with mothering energy. Is people will take and take and take until you say, do you know what, I actually can't do this anymore for whatever reason. Myself, I ended up with some chronic health conditions. I had to draw a line in the sand because of chronic health problems, and you know, there was no other way around it. And I kind of resonate very much with what I'm saying here. This, I lovingly fight for my right to live. I mean, that's horrible. Nobody in 2025 should have to, and yet people do. My thoughts, feelings and actions are increasingly oriented upon the unifying force of the Creator. When people go through their lowest, that's generally when people turn the most to religion or spirituality. It certainly was for me. And while I still feel you do need to ask people for help, you are going to have to start asking particularly family, but also friends, to help you with certain things, because you are at risk of doing yourself permanent physical damage. In fact, actually, before I go on about spiritual and religious development, let's have a look. So you've got Sandalphon Love here as your Angels of Atlantis oracle card. So let's see what Sandalphon's got to say. Beloved, you are a child of God and a peace lover at heart. This angelic oracle comes to you as a signal that new love or a renewed love is dawning for you. See life through the compassionate eyes of your guardian angel who emanates the Christos, and perceive that love as being incomprehensibly beautiful. Look to the beauty that you will create for all in radiance of your love, which is a prism of the divine. Shifting your perspective to the angelic realm means you become a human angel and start to spark miracles all around you. So it's not just love for others, it's love for yourself there, personally, I feel. You possibly have always felt like you need to be in service of others, you need to be helping others to feel loved, to feel valued. But you yourself as a being deserve love. And I think this is possibly one of the biggest things for you in the coming weeks. Is you're clearly a mother to others in whatever capacity that manifests, but perhaps you need to mother yourself a bit. Treat yourself with the love and the kindness that you treat others. Let's just see what unicorn magical you got a couple actually. Here we go. Right, so your magical unicorn oracle cards. Curiosity. Start a project related to something you're curious about. Best friends. True friends stick together no matter what. So do you worry that you're going to lose people if you draw this line in the sand and say that you need help? Because if you do, they weren't really true friends. also this project, start doing something for you, I think, is the upshot. What are you interested in? What would you like to spend some time doing? It doesn't matter if you're a good artist or a terrible one. Do you still just want to spend time painting if you get a chance? Do you want to try a pottery class? I don't know, you know, whatever it is there something that you could spend some time doing for you that will help recharge you, get you out of the house, get your family to pick up some of the slack and accept that actually it's time they started doing some of the housework, some of the cooking, some of the cleaning. Let me just... Right. Will this person, will the collective watching this reading get pushback from their romantic partner for setting this boundary? Yes, you will. But you also need inner strength and courage. You have to push back against this. People don't like it. If they're used to being provided with a service, they're always going to be unhappy if somebody says, yeah, you know, shop's closed now, sort it yourself. What else have we got? Ace of Cups. New beginnings, new relationships, new romance, love, happiness, joy, celebrations, socialising. Knight of Pentacles, patient, practical, loyal, responsible, persistent, protective, defensive, stubborn, ambitious, hard worker, finish what you start. But the key words on these cards as well is there's outpouring on this Ace of Cups and routine. So you've got a new beginning after outpouring your feelings to your family and your partner, giving you a chance to start a new routine. Right, thank you collective for pile number 3. I hope this chakra and archetype reading helped. Let me know in the comments if it resonates, and let me know how you get on talking to your family about this. Much love. Hello and welcome. Pile number 4, you chose green, and we have the hematite there. Green relates to the heart chakra, and other characteristics of green generally represents somebody who is caring, empathetic, natural, balanced, harmonious and abundant. It can also denote somebody who can be indecisive and sits on the fence. To do with physical ailments, green is very good for balancing, relaxing, anti-stress, unconditional love, that ties in with your heart chakra. Promotes harmony in cells. It's also very good for the digestive system, circulation, parasympathetic nervous systems, the heart, lower lungs, bloodstream, arm, and can stabilise emotions. Okay, so I pulled you a chakra energy card. It came out with the second chakra, which is your solar plexus. It's about 2 inches below your belly button. I trustingly allow my body to control my sensuality. So the orange is very good antidepressant. It's very good to do with energising the sensuality in your life and having good self-image about your body as well. Okay, so your archetype card came up as the addict. So positive attributes helps you recognise and confront addictive behaviour. Shadow attributes, compromises integrity and honesty, allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. Let me just see if there is a little bit more on that in the book for you. So, not limited to drugs, alcohol, food and sex. Could also be work, particular entertainments like gaming, that kind of thing. Helps you recognise when any external force has more authority over your willpower than your inner spirit does. Perseverance in breaking its hold empowers your psyche. The shadow addict represents the absence of self-control and internal balance. It compromises your integrity and honesty. Look for a lifelong pattern of trying to overcome the tendency to need a substance or person so intensely that you compromise relationships, finances, integrity, character, or emotional and psychological well-being. Okay, that's quite intense. Let's see what the tarot cards have got for you. So you've got High Priestess. Listen to your intuition. Have patience. Consider carefully what you want before acting. Ace of Earth. The inflow of abundance. A promising business venture. Important documents or contracts. The Wheel. A time of positive change. A situation suddenly moves forward. Fortune is on your side. Page of Water. Intuitive, sensitive, artistic, friendly. A new person enters your life. A relationship begins a new phase. Heightened psychic abilities. Okay, well, that ties in with the High Priestess. So you've obviously got this intuition or psychic abilities going on. Ace of Fire. An exciting new opportunity. So you've definitely got something new starting here for you with two aces. Career advancement. Change your life now. Nine of Earth, enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, successful self-employment. Nine of Water, your wish comes true, concerns fade away, a love of life. And the Four of Fire, contentment, peace and abundance, a happy home life, the successful completion of a project. So on the face of it, everything is looking very, very positive for you. You know, you've got new starts coming in here, whether it's a new opportunity, career advancement. I mean, there's a few cards saying about the inflow of abundance. Listen to your intuition. You know, you've got this heightened psychic ability. Somebody new potentially entering your life. Water signs are Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces. Could be their sun, moon or rising. Contentment, peace and abundance, a happy home life. But you've got this addiction. I'm just trying to tune in because it's all so positive. I mean, to be honest, I'm kind of wondering if your addiction is of an intimate nature, because if you've got addict and you've got second chakra, that ties in with intimate relations and an addiction to that physical intimacy. Let me see if this gives me any more. Zafkael. Let me just see what it says for Zafkael. Compassion. If I can find him. He's hiding. Right, there we go. Zafkael is aware of the deep level of compassion that radiates from your heart at this time. The Oracle of Compassion is one of the highest vibrational influences in the 44 card representations and is only chosen when there is a notion currently formulated within the individual who beseeches something from the Oracle. Is this because you can sense the depth of compassion exuding from yourself at this time as you elevate the suffering of others? Or are you in need of developing this soulful quality in relation to self or other? Wherever you may be, whatever the myriad situations of your life may be revealing, know that the angel of sacred love is supporting you and drawing the cosmic ray of unconditional love and compassion through you. This is a high calling and only occurs when the individual is duly ready for the accruing of blessings or for feeling compassion as a blessed virtue. Look at the lives of the holy ones. For example, what does His Holiness the Dalai Lama teach you through his compassion? Right, so you're feeling bad about yourself. I can't personally, I'll do the unicorn oracles in a second. I can't personally see. So you've got a time of positive change, fortune's on your side, wishes are coming true, concerns fade away, life's in a relationship begins a new phase, contentment, peace and abundance, happy home life. What are you beating yourself up about? What is it, pile 4? What is it? What's wrong? Let's use these. Oh. Dirty offer. Screenshot. Getting evidence, proof or facts. Oh, okay. Grudge holder. Hustling. Making it rain. Focused on getting money. So, I mean, abundance, you're doing well. Legal issues. Are you finding it difficult to be faithful? Are you a sex addict? Fake flexing, acts rich, flosses money, shows off, acts fancy. So do you need to... Oh, just chucking the whole pile now. So do you need to be more compassionate to yourself? Do you need to be honest about how this affects you and other people? Overthinking, stressed, over-analysing. An offer. So, okay, so I feel like you are a stand-up person in many, many ways. Nobody is perfect. Everyone has flaws. You are beating yourself up about your flaw. I could be wrong. But because all of these other cards are so incredibly positive, but you've got this addict here, and actually, to be honest, I was going, you know, the offer, dirty offer, and with it being sacral chakra, I was going down the road of thinking you had some sort of sex addiction. But actually, maybe you are a workaholic. Just looking now, business ventures, contracts, self-employment, completion of a project, career advancement, exciting new opportunity. Yeah, maybe you're actually a workaholic and you're struggling with this. Because it must impact other areas of your life, for sure. But again, Zafkael's telling you to be compassionate to yourself. Everyone's got flaws. And I think that the main difference is whether or not you are intentionally hurting other people. And if you're not, then be compassionate to yourself. Let me just see what your unicorn oracle cards are. Right, water. Drink more water. Eat more foods with water in them, such as fresh fruits and vegetables. Happy thoughts. To feel happier right now, think about a memory or something else that makes you smile. So Maybe try and pull yourself out of this nosedive, this mental and emotional nosedive that you might have yourself in at the moment. Let me just get another deck. Is there anything else you can tell us for pile number 4? I'd like to leave it on a positive note if I can. Anything else pile number 4 need to know? Oh, that's too many cards. Can we just have a couple of cards for pile number 4? Oh. I have none or I have too many. Just a couple of cards for pile number 4, please. That would be nice. Oh, right, what have we got? Move on. Someone is unavailable, a waste of time, it's over. And one more card for pile number 4, maybe? One more card for pile number 4. Just one more, please, Spirit. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're like, no, we're giving you 2. You will be travelling soon or going on holiday, moving, change of residence, or possibly moving in with your partner. Someone's unavailable. So I'm guessing you've got all these new opportunities coming in. You're going to be moving possibly quite a distance. It might require travel, you know, possibly working in a different country, maybe even on a different continent. But yeah, I think I'll just leave it where you've got all these very positive cards. Everything's on the up for you, for sure. Everything, you've got abundance, you've got career success, possibly a new relationship. But you are feeling bad about yourself and this addiction, this whatever it is you're addicted to. So you're moving onwards and upwards with work, probably having to move to a new country for this opportunity you're being offered. But just tie it back in here. Be compassionate with yourself. And this thing with the sacral chakra, imagine a ball of orange light around your sacral chakra. As I say, it's just 2 inches below your belly button. I trustingly allow my body to control my sensuality. Maybe try and focus on that. Sit in stillness, sit in mindfulness whenever you get a chance. And start with that orange ball around the chakra, and then imagine it fully surrounding your body. The orange is very soothing, it's very healing, it's very cleansing. It's a colour I use a lot for pretty much everything when I do Reiki. It's just such a fabulous colour for improving how people feel about themselves, improving their mood, and I feel like you really need that right now. Right, I hope that's helped. Let me know in the comments if this resonates, and take care.